they didn't have like indoor plumbing right now. I don't know what the situation is there, but originally they were showering at Miss Westbrook's place of employment.
She opened the door to the police and then allowed me into her home. I believe that she was using that time to clean up her house because she had just finished mopping and there was a faint smell of feces in the home. She was very uncooperative, very what's the she was very defensive.
Shay, at the initial permanency hearing on April 16th, I ordered Ms. Balderas to both hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. that day. Did she do that?
No, she did not.
This is a compliance hearing following an order to participate involving the Westbrook and Downhour children. Mr. Alvey's with us for the department. Mr. Harris is with us representing the children. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the mother, Miss Westbrook, who is not with us. Ms. Kincaid, were you expecting her?
We sent her the link. She didn't respond to that email, so maybe just watch for her in the waiting room. It's my understanding she's cooperating, so I'm not sure why she's not here this morning.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Michelson represents the father, Mr. Westbrook. Neither Mr. Michelson or Mr. Westbrook are with us. We've got a busy day today, so we're going to go ahead and get started without them. This case was set for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:05. We'll proceed in their absence, and I'll watch the waiting room for them. So, all right, Mr. Alvey, you may proceed.
Judge, if you have Bridget Jordan in your waiting room, she'll be the witness that I'll need to call.
All right, I'll get her in, and Ashley Westbrook just joined us.
And Judge, if Megan Jeffcott is in the waiting room, she's a supervisor.
Okay, she's not in there yet, so I'll watch for her also.
Todd, I'm covering for Megan today.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Okay, so Kelsey's with us. So, all right, Miss Westbrook, the mother, has now joined us. Again, Mr. Michelson, Mr. Westbrook are not with us. We will proceed in their absence. Mr. Alvey, you may go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would call Bridget Jordan.
Okay. Ma'am, if you'd raise your right hand, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You may proceed.
Miss Jordan, you are a family-based service specialist worker working with the Texas Department of Family Protective Services.
Correct.
And in that capacity, you are familiar with James Downhour and Dakota Westbrook, who are the children involved in this case?
Correct.
Now, this case is actually not your case, but you are familiar enough that you can testify today?
Yes, sir.
Ashley Westbrook is the children's mother. She was ordered to work services. Has she been cooperating and working the services as ordered?
I believe she has been somewhat cooperative. I know she has scheduled with Padre. I spoke with the facilitator with Padre yesterday, and she had a conversation with Miss Westbrook about if she moves out of the area, because that is something that they were looking at doing. If she moves out of the area that Padre serves, then she wouldn't qualify for those services. And then she did have her intake and first counseling session with the counselor.
Dakota Westbrook is the father of these two children, or at least one of these children, and he was also ordered to work services. Would his progress be similar to what Miss Westbrook's progress is?
Similar. He spoke with the counselor, but he started a new job and was unable to meet within those counseling hours, and the counseling would not meet with him during his lunch hour. And then Padre, when I spoke with her yesterday, she said that he is not looking to quit or cut back on his marijuana usage. And so therefore he does not qualify for their services because it is all education based.
There has been conversations between the Westbrooks and FBS that they are intending to move to Missouri. And in fact, in the report that Ms. Chu filed, it said that they intended to move on August the 3rd, which would have been Sunday. Do you know if they've moved?
I spoke with Miss Westbrook yesterday, and they had not left yet as of yesterday morning. They were hoping to leave by end of day yesterday, and the plan has changed. They're no longer going to Missouri. They're going to go to Arkansas. Miss Westbrook has a job waiting for her, and Mr. Westbrook has several interviews already lined up.
So do you anticipate that they're actually will be leaving the Pampa, Gray County, Texas area?
Based on my conversations with them yesterday, yes. I just couldn't guarantee a date.
In the meantime, if they continue to reside in Texas, we're asking the court to continue this case and continue the orders that for these parents to continue to work services.
That is my understanding, yes.
As far as the children are concerned, do we have any concerns, any current concerns for the children at this time?
Not that I'm aware of, no. The daycare has good reports on the kiddos.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. I'll pass with Ms. Sharon.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kincaid.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have you had an opportunity, or has the department or had an opportunity to see the children?
Not this month, as it's only the 6th, and they had intended on leaving on the 3rd. But yes.
Okay, does the department have any concerns about the children's safety?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Were there any safety concerns regarding the house?
I believe there are concerns with the home. I am not 100% sure what those are. I haven't been in the home in quite some time. It's been the other worker. The home conditions, I know they didn't have like indoor plumbing right now. I don't know what the situation is there. But originally they were showering at Miss Westbrook's place of employment. From my understanding, she no longer works there. And so I believe that children are showering at the uncle's house, or were. And I'm not sure what Miss Westbrook and Mr. Westbrook are doing. And they have like
Thank you. Now, there have been some referrals sent, is that correct? For the
Yes.
various. Okay, and are you aware if there are any other services that Ashley has started?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Mr. Harris.
Bridget, do we know why the change to Arkansas?
I believe it's work related. I'm not 100% sure. When I asked yesterday, because I did notice that it originally said Missouri, she just said that they were changing, and then she told me about the job opportunities that they had lined up.
Okay, and her job opportunity is what?
She did not specify what she would be doing.
Okay, and his job opportunity?
She just said that he had several interviews lined up. She has a job waiting for her apparently, and he has several interviews when they get there.
Okay, and the anticipated date they're going to leave for Arkansas is when?
She told me hopefully by end of day yesterday, but I didn't hear from her again yesterday, so I'm not sure.
Okay, all right, that's all I have, Liz. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Ms. Gordon, do you know what's the intent of the department if they leave the state? Is this case just going to be dismissed, or do you
Judge,
know?
I'll answer that. My understanding from talking with this supervisors is that if the Westbrooks have moved, then we will dismiss our case because we can't provide services outside of the state.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Mr. Alley, you have anything further?
Not of this witness, Your Honor.
All right. Do you want a compliance hearing in case they don't move?
I do, Your Honor. I would ask for one in 30 days. Before I rest, Your Honor, I would call Miss Westbrook.
Okay. And you said what, you want a compliance hearing in roughly 30 days?
30 days, yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, Miss Westbrook, if you'd unmute. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you would, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alvey.
Miss Westbrook, is it correct that you and your husband Dakota were intending to move to Missouri until recently?
Yes, sir.
Is it correct that your intention is now to move to Arkansas?
Yes, sir.
Are you in Arkansas today?
No, sir. It was too late for us to move. The kids had already fallen asleep. So, we were intending to leave today, shortly after court and everything. We were able to get the last bit of the gas money that we needed to leave. But we didn't want to wake the kids up last night because by the time we got the last bit of the money that we needed, it was already 11 o'clock at night. So we just didn't want to wake the kids up. And so we knew that we had the court this morning. So we wanted to do the court and then let everybody know what's going on and leaves today.
Ms. Westbrook, let me ask questions, okay? Now, is it your intention that you and Dakota and the children are moving to Arkansas today?
Yes.
Where in Arkansas are you moving?
Harrison.
And my understanding or from our testimony is that you already have a job. What kind of job do you have?
I will be working at a steakhouse.
And Dakota is got job interviews. Where is his job interviews? What type of employment is he looking at?
He has got one for a lawn care business. He's got one for like a Take 5, like up here in Pampa. And then he's got one for I think it was a car wash. He could only apply for what was showing on Indeed. A lot of the jobs there are paper applications.
Now, from the beginning of this case, you and Mr. Westbrook have advised that you're trying to leave the state, and we're 60 days in or about that. Are you pretty confident that y'all are leaving today?
Yes, but
Okay.
we were trying beforehand, but my grandpa passed away. We've been helping my mom get on her feet and everything before we leave. We finally got there. So we are confident that we are leaving today.
And do you have a house in Harrison that you're moving to?
What?
Do you have a house in Harrison, Arkansas that you're leaving to?
Well, we'll be staying at a motel until our HUD kicks in, which will be about 2 days. Once we get down there, they're in the process of looking for a HUD house available for us to meet our qualifications, because we need a 2-bedroom and all they have available right now is a 1-bedroom. And they're hoping that they said in 2 days that they will have a 2-bedroom come available because someone's about to move.
Ms. Westbrook, the last set of questions I want to ask you are this. You understand that you and Mr. Westbrook are ordered to work services as long as you're in the state of Texas?
Yes, sir.
And that if you remain in the state of Texas, if the plans fall through again and you can't leave and you're still in Texas, that you are required to do the services that FBS is set for?
Yes, sir.
And that Dakota is required to do those services also?
Yes, sir.
And that means he has to figure out a way to make sure he gets to his counseling and then he gets his parenting classes.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe he understands that?
Yes, sir.
Is he there with you?
He is.
Thank you, Ms. Westbrook. I'll pass it with you, sure.
All right, Ms. Kincaid, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris?
No, sir, no questions.
All right, Mr. Alvey, anything else? This seems to be a wasted effort here.
Yes, I understand, Judge, but I feel comfortable that I've asked all the questions I need to ask today.
Okay, all right then. Ms. Kincaid, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Harris.
No, sir, thank you.
Mr. Harris, any recommendations?
Your Honor, recommendation would be that they continue to participate as long as they live in Texas. And after that, I don't know that we could do anything about it.
No, I don't think we can either. So, okay, I'll then order that the parents continue to work the services as previously ordered as long as they live in Texas. We've already heard testimony. When they leave Texas, this case is going to be dismissed. So I'm not going to waste any more of the court's or the people's time on this case. So I'll set a compliance hearing for September 3rd in case the parents don't leave Texas. That'll be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before September 3rd to see exactly what time we'd have that hearing. Okay, we'll be in recess on this case. I'll be back at 9:30 to call another Gray County compliance hearing. That involves the Burnett children. So we'll be in recess till then. Y'all have a good rest of your week. This is a compliance hearing involving the Burnett children. Mr. Albie's with us for the department. Mr. Nowak is with us representing the children. Ms. Riley is with us representing the mother, Ms. Schiffman. She is not with us and not in the waiting room. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the father, Mr. Burnett. He is not with us and he is not in the waiting room. This case was set for 9:30. It's now 9:44. We will proceed in the parent's absence. Mr. Albie, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would call Ms. Bridget Jordan.
Okay. Ms. Jordan, you were previously sworn this morning, so you're still under oath. Mr. Albie, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Jordan, as a family-based service specialist, are you familiar with Clifton Burnett and Mary Lou Burnett and their family?
Yes.
The children's mother is Mariah Schiffman.
Mariah.
Mariah Schiffman. Mariah was ordered to work services or has agreed to work services through the Texas Family First program. Is it your understanding that Mariah is continuing to work through the services?
Yes, sir.
My notes reflect that Mom has reached phase 2 of the Family First program. Is that what your recollection is?
Yes, sir.
Are there continuing services that Mom needs to be working at this time?
We're currently waiting on her to finish parenting classes through Bennett Court Solutions, which is online. Individual counseling, she's engaging in that, but just finishing up services. Like, she's completing everything. She did go to rehab twice. So I mean, she's working very well with all of her services.
Are there any additional services that the court needs to order that Ms. Schiffman work at this time?
Not that I'm aware of, not currently.
My notes reflect that Mr. Roy Burnett is the father to these two children.
Correct.
And that he was also ordered to work services through the Texas Family First program. However, the reports that I read show that Mr. Burnett is not taking advantage of those services. Is that correct?
I spoke with the FIS worker this morning, Ms. Bidard, and she said over the past several weeks, he has been making a point to at least make one of their visits a week. So he is progressing better than he was before.
At this time, are you asking the court to continue these parents on the TFF program?
Yes.
The children, Clifton and Mary Lou, they're still residing with Mariah and Roy?
Correct.
And do we have any concerns about them in that home?
No.
Have you been in the home to visually see the children?
I have not, because this is Kinsey Chu's case. I have been to the babysitter's home to see the kids.
In any of your conversations or your reports that you've reviewed from Miss Chu, does she have any concerns about the children in the home?
No.
In your conversation with Miss Bider, did she have any concerns about the children in the home?
No.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. I'll pass it with Ms. Shaw.
All right, thank you, Ms. Riley.
I have no questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Kincaid,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Nowak.
No questions, Judge.
All right, Mr. Albee, anything further?
Nothing from the department, Your Honor. We would ask that you set a compliance hearing in 30 days. We might be able to complete the case by then.
Okay,
And Judge, just so everyone's aware, the dismissal date is August 19th in this case. So I didn't know if we needed to extend the dismissal or extend the TFF.
yeah, we'd need to. Is it been 180 days since we started this?
That's what I'm showing. Let me check the original order.
Judge, I know that this is at least the second compliance hearing we've had on this case. So
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What?
this is at least the second compliance
Yeah.
hearing we've had.
Well,
on
I'm
this
just looking. Our first hearing was on February 21st.
That would be 6 months.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to need to extend it, which that's not a problem. We can.
And Judge, so the new dismissal date would be February 16th of 2026.
Okay, thank you, Leslie.
Or excuse me, February 15th.
Okay. All right, then, does anyone else have any further witnesses? No? Okay. All right, then, Mr. Nowak, anything you need to recommend to me other than they continue to work their services?
Continue working their services, Judge. It looks like the kids are doing well. Mom is really doing well in services. Encourage Dad to kind of kick it up a little bit. And Mom got a new job. That's why she's not on screen today, which is a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, first of all, I do find that this case warrants an extension so that the parents can finish up their services. So I will extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. I will order the parents to continue working the services as previously ordered. And I will set, at Mr. Albee's request, I'll set our next compliance hearing for September 3rd, 2025. That will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of September 3rd to see exactly what time of day we'll have that hearing. Okay, we'll be in recess on this case. For those of you involved, I'll be back here. Mr. Albee, it's not one of your cases. I don't think anybody here is involved in it. I'll be back to call a Desmond County final hearing involving the Cisneros child. Otherwise, we'll be in recess. Everybody have a good rest of your week. This is a final hearing involving the Cisneros child. Mr. Graff is with us for the department. Ms. Olivas is with us representing CASA. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the children. Mr. Pirtle represents the mother, Ms. Balderas. Neither Mr. Pirtle nor Ms. Balderas are with us. This is set for final hearing. We are going to go ahead and proceed in their absence. I may give it I'll give it a few more minutes to see if they show up. And then I'll be back and we'll get started. I have Shay Cairns in the waiting room. Is she your witness, Mr. Graff?
I have Ms. Cairns. I'm also expecting Ms. Castor, but I sent the link to the wrong social worker yesterday, and I just sent Ms. Castor the correct link. So if we're going to take a break, I'm going to just reach out to her real quick and make sure she has the right link.
Okay, I'll watch for her to see if she comes in the waiting room. We'll be back here shortly.
Thank you.
I do note that the father in this case, Mr. Terry Cisneros, was terminated by this court on an order previously signed on April 1st, 2025. That would have been an interlocutory termination. I will go ahead at the conclusion of today's hearing. I will make that interlocutory termination a final order of the court. So, all right, Mr. Graff, we are ready to proceed. You may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before I do, as a preliminary matter, I circulated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exhibits. They're all pleadings previously entered in this case. I would just move to admit those before I begin my witness testimony.
Okay, I've seen those. Let me just pull them up real quick. Okay, yeah, all right. Then are there any objections to petitioners exhibits 1 through 6?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, petitioners 1 through 6 are admitted.
Judge, I don't believe I received those.
Okay, so we need to get those to Amy.
Amy, I'll send them to you right now.
And for the record, they are the original petition, the affidavit in support of emergency removal, temporary order following full adversary hearing, status hearing order, family plan of service for the mother, and permanency hearing order before final order.
Okay, all right.
All
Okay,
right,
Ms. Taylor, and you may go ahead and call your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would call Kimberly Castor.
Okay. Ms. Castor, if you'd unmute. Thank you, ma'am. If you'd raise your right hand, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Mr. Graff?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Castor, what is your current position within the Department of Family and Protective Services?
I am a child protection investigator.
Okay, and how long have you been employed with the department?
It will be 2 years in October.
Okay, and what are your primary duties as a CPS investigator?
To investigate reports of abuse and neglect and to ensure child safety.
Okay, what training or experience do you have in child welfare cases at this time?
2 years of experience, and then training. I have multiple certifications regarding child safety.
Okay. Are you familiar with the case involving the child Quentin Cisneros and his mother Desiree Balderas?
Yes.
And did you file a petition in this case?
Yes, I did.
When was that filed?
October 31st, 2024.
Okay, and how old was Quentin when you filed?
He was 5 months.
Did the department have a history with the family at the time of the filing of the petition?
Yes.
Okay, can you give us what the general issues had been prior to the filing of this case?
Yes, they had, Desiree had prior history with the department. I believe it was regarding neglectful supervision as well. It was due to allegations of drug use, and I believe it was drug use of methamphetamines. And I believe that was her only case prior.
Okay. And so how is it that you got involved with the family when this case came about?
I received an intake for neglectful supervision. It was kind of more concerns on Desiree's mental health. There was maybe drug issues, but there was no evidence to support that in the intake. Like it was kind of just like they were suspicions of drug use just because of her behaviors and all that. But I got it more because of her mental health issues and her kind of just hiding out and hearing voices and her home being not safe for the child.
Okay. And so what did you do to investigate once you were assigned?
I tried to make initial contact with Desiree, I believe 2 times before she actually, or before I had to get the police involved, because Desiree wasn't opening the door for me. And I had the prior investigator come out with me, or no, I didn't have the prior investigator. I had the prior investigator show me what Desiree would drive, and Desiree's car was at her house every single time I went. She just wasn't answering the door for me. And then I asked her if she wasn't home whenever I did end up making initial contact. And she said that she was home. So she just kind of wasn't answering the door for me. And then by the time she opened the door to the police and then allowed me into her home, I believe that she was using that time to clean up her house because she had just finished mopping and there was a faint smell of feces in the home.
Okay. And then what did you learn about Quentin and his parents as a result of your investigation?
I'm sorry, you said what did I learn?
Yeah, what did you learn about the child and his mother, particularly as a result of your investigation?
Desiree was having those mental health issue, or I don't necessarily know if it was mental health, but she was hearing voices. She was having some kind of paranoia. When I was interviewing her at initial contact, she was telling me that there was someone in her upper room, and she kept hearing ticking in the home and kept asking me I heard it, but I did not hear any ticking in the home. But I took the prior investigator, McLean, out with me to talk to Desiree about FESS because she did end up coming back positive for methamphetamines. So we wanted to talk about ongoing services with the department because it was only her second case, so we wanted to give her that chance. And in that moment, Investigator McLean kind of just was very shocked with the amount of weight Desiree had lost. And in the Friday to the Monday that I went to go, or no, Friday to the Tuesday that I went to go see Desiree, she had marks all over her face. Like they were like, I don't know, there were just dark spots all over her face that I did not see on the Friday that I went to go make initial contact. So it was kind of just dramatic behavior changes, dramatic appearance changes. Regarding behavioral changes, she was very cooperative and willing to do FBSS and drug screen for the department. And then come that Tuesday, she was very uncooperative, very she was very defensive, and kind of not willing to cooperate with anything, not wanting to do a safety plan, not wanting to have any of her relatives watch Quentin or her move into any of her relatives' home. So that way there's just another set of eyes on Quentin. She was not willing to do anything like that at all.
Okay, and is that what prompted the filing then at that point?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any other, while you were still involved, subsequent mental health or other type of intervention, either for drugs or mental health for Desiree?
Was there any kind of subsequent?
Was there any subsequent mental health or substance abuse intervention with her around the time of the filing?
She was told to go to the pavilion after I made initial contact that Friday, because a family member of hers called me and she was having some kind of mental health episode. And so I advised the family member to take her to the pavilion, and she was recommended to stay over the weekend, but the family members said that Desiree talked her way out of it. Okay. So I don't necessarily know what that meant, but she was recommended that stay and denied it.
So you met with her after her release, and that's when she was combative and wasn't going to play ball with y'all and prompted you to file a petition. Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
And this kind of pattern, was this sort of mental health presentation and behavioral change and weight loss and all that stuff based on the information you received from the family? Was that consistent with kind of a pattern of behavior for Desiree?
Yes, from what the family told me, yes, she had been doing that for a few months before before the department got involved. So it kind of seemed as if this was normal to the family already.
Okay. Where was there a danger to Quentin's physical health and safety caused by the mental health and substance abuse?
Physical health, Quentin did have there was something on the back of his head. I don't know if his hair was just matted or he did end up having a flat head because of how long he was in his rocker for. Because Desiree just would never hold him or pick him up or anything like that. But I don't remember specifically what it was.
Okay. So, but at that point, that was the basis to file because there was abuse, neglect, or a substantial danger to his physical health and safety, essentially by her neglect. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Desiree was not willing to have any help from family members whatsoever, wasn't willing to agree to a safety plan or anything like that.
Got it. Okay. And then it was also contrary to his welfare to be returned at that point.
Yes.
And then well, we'll move on. Did the urgent need for child's protection require his immediate removal?
Yes, because there was no one to supervise Desiree's contact with him. And the father at that time was on the road.
I understand he's a long haul trucker.
Yes.
Okay. And what actions were taken to find a relative or fictive kin placement for him?
Just asking Desiree. And there was a lot of family members involved already, just because they were the ones calling me and telling me Desiree's behaviors and all that she was doing. So kind of just asking them if they were willing, and Sheila Balderas actually showed up at the time of a removal for Quentin, but Sheila did not want to have Quentin in her care because of how Desiree was and how aggressive she was towards Sheila.
Okay. And what was Sheila's relationship to Desiree?
That's her mother.
I see. And then where was he ultimately placed?
With Miss Balderas' sister.
Okay.
I don't remember her name though.
That's
Oh,
fine.
Taylin Quinones.
Okay, thank you. Did the court hold an adversary hearing, and if so, was it agreed or was it done contested?
The court did hold an adversary hearing and it was agreed on.
Okay. And then TMC was ultimately established. When did the case transfer to St. Francis?
At the adversary hearing, and I don't specifically remember when that was.
Okay. Who was the assigned permanency specialist, if you recall?
Shay Carnes.
Okay. Okay. That's all the questions I have. Thank you. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Castor, did you say that Ms. Balderas did drug screen early in this case?
Yes.
And she was positive for methamphetamine?
Yes.
Do you happen to know the date of that drug screen?
I do not, but if you want me to look for it, I can.
That's fine. But was it prior to the adversary hearing or after?
It was prior to the adversary hearing.
Okay.
It had to have been in October.
Okay, so when this case started, to your knowledge, was Ms. Balderas the caregiver for Quentin?
Yes.
He was in her custody?
Yes, he was.
So would you say that there was a danger to Quentin being in her custody when she was using methamphetamine?
Yes, he was.
Would you say then that she had knowingly placed or knowingly allowed Quentin to remain in conditions or surroundings which endangered Quentin's physical or emotional well-being?
Yes, she did.
Would you say she engaged in conduct or knowingly placed Quentin with persons who engaged in conduct which endangered Quentin's physical or emotional well-being?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Kincaid, questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Graff, anything further from Ms. Castor?
No, Your Honor. As far as I'm concerned, she may be excused.
Okay, Ms. Kincaid, any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Castor, thank you for your testimony. I'll release you so you can go about your day's business. All right, Mr. Graff, next witness.
Shay Cairns, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Cairns, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Graff.
Ms. Cairns, what's your current position with St. Francis Ministries?
I'm a permanency specialist.
How long have you been employed with St. Francis?
A little over 3 years.
Okay. And what are your primary duties as permanency specialist?
I set up a family plan for the families to mitigate the reasons for removal. And I try to keep them in contact with their children, if they're following that family plan. just work with them and provide that support they need.
Okay. And what training experience do you have in child welfare, permanency planning, and termination cases?
Well, I've been doing it. Well, I was started with the state, so I've been doing this for a while. You know, just we've done a lot of trainings. I apologize. You know, just working with the families, and we did the trainings for all of that. We've done substance abuse trainings, mental health trainings, all of that.
Okay. And you're familiar then with this case of Quentin Cisneros and Desiree Balderas, correct?
Yes.
And you heard the testimony of Ms. Castor. You were assigned at the time of the adversary hearing. Is that right?
I was.
Okay. And that was that on November 15th, 24?
Yes.
Okay. And then how often do you review the case file and the circumstances since you've been assigned?
I update weekly. I mean, with parents, I try to reach out weekly, you know, if I haven't heard from them.
Okay. And are you responsible for ensuring compliance with the permanency plan?
Yes.
Okay. How much contact do you have with Quentin and his caregivers?
Taylor will usually reach out if there's something going on with him, but I see them once a month.
Okay. And Quentin's been in that placement since this case was filed, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Okay. And how's he doing in this placement?
He's doing great.
Okay. Does he have any special needs?
No, he does not.
All right. Is he bonded with his caregivers?
Yes, he is. He's really bonded.
Okay. And did you develop the FPOS? Did Ms. Balderas sign that and agree to those services?
Yes, eventually she did.
Okay. And what services did she agree to that were court ordered for her as part of the reunification plan?
We had the parenting, counseling, OSAR assessment.
Ms. Cairns, let me interrupt for a couple of things first. Mr. Graff, is it which exhibit number is Mother's Service Plan?
I don't know that we numbered them, but it was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in the list of the 5 exhibits that we sent over.
Okay, so for purposes of today's hearing, can we call that petitioner's exhibit 5?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Ms. Cairns, do you have that exhibit?
I do.
Okay. What I'd like to do, rather than just talk about the services that were ordered, could we take them one at a time? And can you tell me whether or not Ms. Balderas completed that service?
I can. Let me get to where I can read it.
Okay.
All right. We started with the parenting. She started that in January, stopped it at the end of January, and then started back up in late June, I believe.
Did she successfully complete parenting?
No, she did not.
Go ahead.
And then we have the drug screening. She has not been compliant with that. She's completed 4 out of the 11 that I've sent her to. And then she did do the rational behavior therapy or training with Troy Timmons. And she was doing therapy through the Padre program. Again, she started in January to the end of January and then started back up in middle of June and did not complete that.
Can I ask you, was she is she still involved? You said she didn't complete it. Was she discharged from that program?
Yes, she was.
Okay, thank you.
Unsuccessfully discharged?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And then we have the psychological. I didn't receive this one back. And I don't believe she finished that one. And then she was attending domestic violence through Padre program. Like there's a support group. I mean, I don't know how many we needed to go to, but she probably didn't complete all of them. Because again, she's only done services one month at a time. And then the OSAR she did in January, but then we asked for another one to be started at the April hearing. She did not do the second one. And the substance abuse program, she did do inpatient for 2 weeks in May, but she did not complete the one for Padre.
So was it a 30-day program and she only did 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe, was that all the services on the list?
Oh, and residency and employment. She's not working.
Okay. Did she have a tendency to put energy into attempted compliance around court hearings and then dropping off? Was that kind of a pattern with her?
It was.
Okay. And so at this time, she's only completed a parenting class and the Troy Timmons. Just so I have your testimony correctly, is that right? She just completed those 2 services?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has she demonstrated overall behavioral change or improvement such that she's mitigated the safety issues that caused her son to come into care?
No, she has not.
Has she maintained consistent contact with Quentin?
No, she has not.
Okay, what's her visitation been like?
She saw him every week in January, and then we stopped the visits until we got a negative. And then we started back up on June 5th. She was last seen, by me on July 9th, and that's the last contact I have.
Okay, have you made what efforts have you made to be in contact with her?
I call her. I go by her apartment. Nobody's usually there. Her sister did say that she's been seen, going with somebody in a semi. So I think she's out of town, but I'm not sure.
Is the belief that she's back with Mr. Cisneros?
Unfortunately, yes.
Has she been able to provide a safe and stable home environment for Quentin?
No, sir.
Okay. Would you say there's been ongoing concerns about substance abuse, domestic violence relationships, neglect, or general abuse during the case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Based on your involvement in the case, do you believe termination of parental rights is in Quentin's best interest?
I do.
Why is that?
She hasn't addressed her mental health or her substance abuse, and she's constantly falling off. She hasn't completed the services. I think she'd still put Quentin in danger.
Do you believe that the mental health and substance abuse issues are intertwined?
I do.
Okay. And what risks would Quentin face if parental rights were not terminated?
Well, the instability of his mom, being back and forth, risk of exposure to drugs, the physical neglect, and possibly domestic violence, since there is some of that in the past.
Is he old enough? He's not old enough to express any wishes regarding permanency, correct?
No, he's not.
Right. And you've already testified he doesn't have any special needs. Would termination of parental rights affect his ability to find a permanent home?
No. Oh, no.
All right, sorry, strike that. Strike my question and the answer. How would termination of parental rights affect his ability to find a permanent home?
He would be able to be adopted.
Okay. If termination is granted, what is his permanency plan?
His aunt and uncle, maternal aunt and uncle, would adopt him.
Okay. And obviously terminating his mother's parental rights would open the door and enable him to be adopted, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Okay. And what steps has St. Francis taken to ensure his long-term stability and well-being?
What was that? It broke up.
What steps has St. Francis taken to ensure his long-term stability and well-being?
His aunt and uncle are getting their license now to adopt. And I tried to work with, parents to get them back on track, but
Okay. Is there anything else you believe the court should know about the child circumstances?
no, sir.
In your professional opinion, do you believe that termination of Ms. Baralderaz's parental rights is in Quentin's best interest?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Shay, at the initial permanency hearing on April 16th, I ordered Ms. Balderas to both hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. that day. Did she do that?
No, she did not.
All right. And you talked about her not her visitation pattern.
Mhm.
First of all, was the service plan created for her? Was that a reasonable effort on the part of the department to return Quentin to her?
Yes, sir.
Had she worked the services, he could have been returned to her, correct?
She could. He
Would
could.
you say that she has not regularly visited or maintained significant contact with Quentin throughout this case?
Yes, sir.
And would you say that she has demonstrated an inability to provide Quentin with a safe environment?
Yes, sir.
And has Quentin been in the department's custody for at least 6 months?
He has.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Kincaid, questions?
Thank you, Your Honor. So far as the services that mom actually completed, do you feel like she learned anything from those services?
I do not.
And the purpose of those services is to mitigate the reasons for removal. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the child is placed with family now.
He is.
And is he up to date on his medical and dental?
Yes.
And he's not on any kind of prescription medications at this time. Is that correct?
He is not.
Is he attending daycare?
No.
So he stays home with family?
Yes, he does.
Does he have significant contacts with other family besides mom and dad?
He does.
And does he appear to be bonded with his current placement?
Very much so.
And their intention is to adopt him should the termination take place. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Cairns?
No, Your Honor. And at this time, we rest.
All right, then. Ms. Kincaid, did you have any witnesses?
I don't, Your Honor. I rest.
All right. Ms. Kincaid, recommendations?
I recommend that that mother's parental rights be terminated and the department be named permanent managing conservator and continue the current placement.
All right, thank you. Ms. Olivas, does CASA have anything to add?
No, sir, I agree with Ms. Kincaid.
Okay, all right. Give me just a second here. All right, then, based on the evidence I've heard today, first of all, I will make the interlocutory termination of the father's, Terry Cisneros, parental rights, which the court entered an order on April 1st, 2025. I will make that a final order as of today's hearing. I further find that it's in the best interest of Quentin Cisneros that the parental rights of the mother, Desiree Balderas, be terminated. I'll terminate those rights today based on Texas Family Code, section 161.001, subsections B1D, E, N as in Nancy, and O. I'll name the department permanent managing conservator. I'll continue Quentin's current placement. I will continue Ms. Kincaid in this case as Quentin's attorney ad litem. Does CASA want to be dismissed in this case or stay in?
We would like to stay, Judge,
Okay.
please.
All right, I will continue CASA in the case also. All other court-appointed relationships will be dismissed after all appellate and de novo periods have expired. We'll have our first review hearing in this case on October 29th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before October 29th to see exactly what time of day we'll have that hearing. Okay, we'll stand in recess on this case. I'll be back at 11 o'clock to call a Dallam County final hearing involving the Estrada children. Otherwise, we'll be in recess. Everybody have a good rest of your week. This is a final hearing involving the Estrada children. Mr. Alvey's with us for the department. Ms. Ledbetter's with us for CASA. Ms. Archer is with us representing the child. Ms. Graff is with us representing the mother. Ms. Evans, who is with us. That is all of the parties. And I have no one in the waiting room except one person associated with a later case today. So, Mr. Alvey, we are ready to proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before I call any witnesses, Your Honor, I'd ask the court to take judicial notice of two separate affidavits of relinquishment. One from Miss Evans concerning Bailey Estrada, and one from Miss Evans concerning Isaac Estrada.
Okay, so noted. And they are both on file, correct?
They are, Your Honor.
Okay, so noted.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would call Miss Courtney Brown.
All right. Ms. Brown, if you'd raise your right hand, please. Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Alley.
Miss Brown, you're a St. Francis Ministries pharmacy specialist.
That's correct.
In that capacity, you're familiar with Bailey Estrada and Isaac Estrada.
Yes, sir.
First of all, where is Bailey Estrada currently placed?
She's placed with family in Georgia.
And is that family, have they taken steps to become a registered foster family with the intent to adopt Bailey?
Yes, sir.
And how is Bailey doing in that home?
She's doing very well. Initially, when she was placed there, we had a few hiccups, but she has done wonderfully with no behavioral issues or anything like that for the last few months. So she's doing very well.
There's been courtesy workers who have been to the home to prove that the home is safe and good for this child.
Yes, sir.
Any concerns that have been raised concerning Bailey in this family's home?
No, sir.
Is still the intent for Bailey to be adopted in that home?
Yes, that's the intent.
And has Bailey had communication with her mother voluntarily from the foster home to Miss Evans?
Yes, they have an open line of communication.
Isaac is currently placed where?
He is at a group home down in Odessa.
And has that group home been meeting all of Isaac's needs at this time?
It has.
Specifically, is making sure that Isaac has attended all of mental health, dental, and medical appointments?
Yes, sir.
Any concerns about Isaac being in that group home at this time?
No, sir.
Any special issues or special needs that have arisen concerning that group home?
No, sir.
Was there any home studies done on any particular family members that Isaac may be able to be placed with?
Yes, sir. An approved home study was filed for the Salazar family, and they are open and willing to have him placed in their home with the intent to adopt when that becomes a possibility.
And when is the St. Francis Ministries and Department planning on moving Isaac to the Salazar's home?
We're planning to get him moved next week before school starts down there.
Again, the Salazars have reached out and made contact with Miss Evans?
I believe they've had contact, yes, previously before I came into the case.
And is it your understanding that Miss Evans doesn't have any objections to Isaac being placed with Salazars?
Yes, sir. I've spoken to Tabitha myself, and she was on board with placing Isaac there.
And is it the opinion of St. Francis Ministries and the department that it would be safe for Isaac to be placed in the Salazar's home and eventually to possibly be adopted by the Salazars?
Yes, sir.
Just for the record, Bailey and Isaac's father is deceased.
That's correct.
And Your Honor, we concluded that, and there should be an order on file with the court that acknowledges that he was the father to both children and that he is deceased.
Okay, thank you.
And Miss Evans has signed an affidavit of relinquishment for both Bailey and for Isaac.
Yes, that's correct.
You not personally put any pressure on Miss Evans to sign either of those affidavits?
No, sir, I have not.
As far as you know, no one from St. Francis Ministries or the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services has Miss Evans anything or threatened her in any way for her to sign those affidavits of relinquishment?
No, sir.
far as you know, those are voluntarily signed by Miss Evans while she was being counseled by her counsel.
That's correct.
Today, are you asking that Miss Evans' parental rights be terminated solely based upon the fact that Miss Evans signed an affidavit, a voluntary relinquishment of her parental rights?
Yes, sir, I am.
If the court does terminate the parental rights of Miss Evans, are you asking that the court name the department as permanent managing conservator of both of these children until the adoption can be completed?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'll pass the witness. I will advise the court that we have previous to today circulated a proposed agreed order. And my understanding is that all the parties have signed off on that proposed order, and we have it ready to present to the court after today's hearing.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Graff, any questions?
Your Honor, I have no questions. We did sign that order, and my client is in agreement with the relinquishments and the termination, and she is satisfied with the placement. So I think we're ready to proceed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Archer.
Ms. Brown, since Isaac's going from one place to another, will his medications be reviewed when he gets to the new placement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And as far as you know, is he excited about that move?
Yes, ma'am. He's very excited.
Okay. And he'll be there in time for school to start. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. We didn't want to start him in one spot and move him to another, so he'll be there before it starts.
Okay, thank you. I have no more questions.
All right. Anything further from the department?
No, Your Honor, we'll rest.
Thank you. Ms. Graff, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, we rest. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Archer, recommendations?
Yes, Judge, I visited with both kids on Zoom. It's my recommendation that the department be permanent managing conservator today in hopes that the children find placement can be adopted.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ledbetter, does CASA have anything to add?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. We're in agreement with that as well.
All right. Jessica, does CASA want to stay in or be dismissed?
We would like to stay in until Isaac's settled and we know that that placement will work out for him.
Okay, all right. Give me just a second. Okay, based on the evidence I've heard today, as well as affidavits of relinquishment on both children, which are on file in this case, I do find that it's in the best interest of the children, Isaac Estrada and Bailey Estrada, that the parental rights of the mother, Tabitha Evans, be terminated. I'll terminate those rights today based solely on those two affidavits of relinquishment, as well as Texas Family Code Section 161.001, subsection B1K. I will name the department permanent managing conservator. I'll continue the children's current placements and approve the placement with the family that's been found. I will continue Miss Natalie as the children's attorney ad litem and CASA in this case. All other court-appointed relationships will be dismissed after all appellate and de novo periods have expired. Ms. Graff, if you would explain to your client her appellate and de novo rights.
I'll do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, I'll set the first review hearing in this case for October 29th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so any parties that are still involved in the case at that time can go on the court's online docket a day or two before October 29th to see exactly what time of day we'll have that hearing. Okay, that will conclude this hearing. Our next hearing was set for 11:30. That was to be a final hearing involving the ward child. I have granted the department's motion for continuance, and I believe we've notified everybody that there will be no hearing held on that case. So our next hearing now will be a Dallam County final, another Dallam County final at noon. That involves the Perez child, Isaac Perez. So we'll see some of you back at noon. If not, y'all have a good rest of your week and have a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank y'all.